Okay, so good morning, teacher Anita Vera. Welcome to the element number 3, in which we're going to present a role play about the first certificate in English speaking test. So in this case, I'm going to be the examiner, and we're going to start with part number 1, which is an interview. So good morning. My name is Maria Belén Morales, and your names are?
Paola Pérez.
My name is Evelyn Santa Maria.
And my name is Nicole Sevilla.
Okay, so first of all, I'd like to know something about you. So I'm going to ask you some questions about yourselves. So Paola, tell me, do you live in Ambato?
Yes, I live in Ambato.
Okay, Evelyn?
Actually, no, I live in Salcedo.
Okay, and Nicole?
In my case, I live in a small and wonderful town. It is called Patate.
Okay, so Paola, tell me, what do you like about living here?
I like from Ambato, the friendly and warm people, also the beautiful places to visit, like the different parts to be relaxed. Moreover, I like the delicious gastronomy that my city offers, in which includes the traditional yapingacho.
What about you, Evelyn?
Well, what I enjoy the most about living in Salcedo is that I am surrounded by nature. And so very close to here is the Laguna de Yambo and the Yanganates National Park. Also, I really enjoy the festivities that are held every year.
Okay, Nicole?
Okay, I love living in Patate. It has beautiful and attractive landscapes. It's famous for its food and waterfalls such as Munduk. Also, there's always something interesting going on. It's a quiet place and it's small enough.
Okay, thank you. So Paola, tell me, what do you most enjoy doing when you're at home?
What I enjoy most doing at home are exercises. I do it for 30 minutes per day. I love to be healthy and fine with my body. Also, I dance and sing karaoke with my sisters. To be healthy and shared is really great.
Okay, how about you, Evelyn?
In my case, what I most enjoy doing when I am at home is watching series and documentaries on Netflix. I really enjoy crime investigation documentaries and series dealing with battles between kingdoms.
Okay, and Nicole?
Reading books is what I most enjoy doing when I'm at home. I like all genres of books, especially those about adventures. I love to read books because they are full of emotions. Additionally, it increases my knowledge and also my vocabulary.
Okay, excellent. So let's finish with the last question. Paola, who are the most important people in your life?
The most important person in my life is my dad. He's a strong man and took care of me since I was a little child. He always teaches me to work hard to achieve many great things.
Okay, Evelyn?
Okay, so the most important person in my life is my father. He has taught me to be a good and respectful person. And he also always takes care of me and all of my family. And in addition, he supports and encourages me to always keep going.
Okay, and Nicole?
In my case, the most important person in my life is my brother. He has become an unconditional and loyal friend. I have shared great moments of happiness and adventure with him. Also, he has taught me to be a strong and brave person.
Okay, thank you.
My name is Nicole Sevilla. Now let's start with part 2 of speaking exam. about the long term. I'm going to be the examiner, and in this part, I'm going to give each of you 2 photographs. I like to talk about your photographs and your own for about 1 minute. Paola, it's your turn first. I like you to compare the photographs and say how important it is to help people in these situations.
Okay. Both of them show professional people working to help others in difficult situations. Looking at the first photo, I can see a woman helping a football player to recover an injury of his knee on the game field. It looks like the man suffered a painful blow. Likewise, in the second photo, I can see a police officer helping a woman find a direction with specific indicators in the big city.
Thank you so much, Paola. Now, Evelyn, here are the photographs. These photographs show people watching different kinds of programs. So compare the photographs and say, why do you think people enjoy watching these kinds of programs?
Okay, so in the first photo, I can see a family who are possibly watching an animal documentary because you can see a leopard on the television. While in the second photo, there are 2 women watching a cooking show. It looks like they enjoy watching cooking shows because they are smiling and enjoying it. Also, I think people enjoy watching this kind of shows because they are very informative. And on the other hand, cooking shows help people to learn new recipes.
Thank you, Evelyn. Finally, it's your turn, Belen. These pictures show people spending time. I'd like you to compare that 2 pictures and say, why do people enjoy spending time in these places?
Okay, so in the first photo, I can see a man sitting by himself in a really quiet place. Whereas in the second photo, there are lots of people doing different things in a city. In both pictures, we can see people enjoying their time. However, the second photo shows a more crowded place. The man in the first picture seems to enjoy peace and isolation because he chose a place a deserted place to be there. Also, on the other hand, I believe that people in the second photo enjoy spending time with their loved ones and also with strangers because they are happily accompanied.
Thank you, Belen.
Okay, so let's continue with the third part of this exam, that is a collaborative task. So now I would like you to talk about something together for about 3 minutes. So I'm just going to listen. So imagine that a member of your family must make an important decision about his life. This person asks you for an advice about what decision to make. So here are the options that you have to look, and you have some seconds to look at the options and at the question that you have to answer. Okay, so first talk to each other about what might people have to consider when making these decisions.
Okay, should I start?
Of course, Paola. Start, please.
Well, I think choosing the university is a big decision because many factors could influence to it. For instance, If the university is close to home, you could be more comfortable to save money on transport and food. What is your opinion on this, Belén?
Okay, so I agree with you. I strongly believe that the person must take into consideration things like costs, and also fees of the university. Moreover, it is important to consider activities that a person can do, I mean, extracurricular activities like practicing sports or even participating in a club. What do you think, Nicole?
I believe that this option choosing a university must be taken into account because it is a big step in our life. So people should select a university that has a career in also the field of study they want and analyze the academic quality and the benefits that it offers. So what do you think about the other options? In this case, moving to another country. Paola.
Okay, in my opinion, moving around is an important decision because firstly, it is necessary to pay attention to the economy, residence, language, and how you are going to survive there. Taking a sudden decision in another country is not really easy. How about you, Belén?
I think that culture is a very important factor, especially because at the beginning, people that move from one country to another usually suffer a culture shock. Also, you have to take into account whether you need a residence visa, work permit, or something else to stay there. Nicole, how about you?
Yes, I totally agree. I think that moving to another country is a very important decision. So people should consider their economic resources and also know the language of the country they would like to move, as well as the culture and the traditions they keep. So how about getting married, Paola?
Well, I guess to know your life partner should take a lot of years. As a result, married people could share an environment of peace and love with problems as everyone has in their home, but with less complicated solutions. What is your opinion about this, Belen?
I think that getting married is a thing that we do just once in our life. So we have to think a lot before doing it. We have to ask ourselves some questions like, and I'm happy with this person. Do I have a future with him or her? And also, I believe that ideologies are too important when we choose a partner. How about you, Nicole?
Mm, in this case, you're absolutely right. Uh, because I believe that getting married is a big decision. So people should have a good relationship with their partner. In addition, an important point to consider is the communication. So what do you think about the other option, finding a job, Paola?
Okay. In my opinion, when someone wants to start in a job, should pay attention on time, salary, benefits, and some other aspects because there are some bosses that don't want to meet these requirements. For that, it is necessary to be informed in all aspects to avoid being swindled. What about you, Belen?
I guess that finding a job is a really challenging task. So for this reason, the person has to consider lots of things, such as the position, also the schedule, the insurance bonuses, healthcare, and even, the holidays that the company offers. And tell me, Nicole, how about you?
Mm, I also think that the job that people will find must be related to their skills and abilities. In addition, people should have a curriculum and experience because nowadays these things are very important and necessary.
Okay, thank you so much, girls. That's all.
Part 4, discussion. Now I'd like you to talk about the general topic of the part 3 that we already saw. making decisions. For about 3 minutes, I am going to listen you. The first question is, do you think making decision is important in people's lives?
Okay, shall I start, please?
Yes, of course.
Okay, well, I think that making decisions is something very important because it can affect our lives in a good or a bad way. What do you think, Belen?
Okay, sorry, my microphone was off. In my opinion, making decisions in our lives is too important because it can change our lives, as you said. So I agree with you. Also, I want to add that I strongly believe in the butterfly effect that shows us that just a little change in our past could cause a really different situation in our future. So yeah, I believe in this. What do you think about this, Nicole? Do you agree with this theory or not?
Yes, I totally agree. So in my opinion, making decisions is one of the most important activities in people's life because it improves the quality of life, of course, and allows us to focus on our future. Also, making decisions help us to analyze a problem or a situation. So, Evelyn, do you have a different opinion about that?
Actually, I agree with you, girls, but the butterfly effect is something new for me. And Belen, can you explain us a little bit more, please?
Yes, of course. So yeah, the origin of this theory is the chaos theory that holds that something as small as the flutter of a butterflies can cause a typhoon halfway around the world. Nicole, maybe you have something to add?
Yes, of course. So remember that it is important to take into account that making decisions is not easy. So it implies dedication, perseverance and determination. That is why people must be responsible with it.
Thank you. The next question. What are the most important decisions that people need to consider in order to be successful?
Okay, in my case, I believe that to be a successful person, the most important decision that we must to consider is in which university we are going to study and also which major we are going to study because our future depends on the career that we choose. What do you think, Evelyn?
Yes, Evelyn, I totally agree with you. Personally, I think that there are several important things that we have to consider in order to have a successful life. First, as you mentioned before, the career, because it is what people will do for the rest of their lives, so it is important. Also, I believe that the partner is a really important part of our lives because if she or he is not the correct person, the other one will not be able to to achieve his or her goals. So his or her life will not be successful. How about you, Nicole?
First, I agree with you, Glenn, but I would say that one of the most important decisions that people need to consider is finding a job because it will depend on our professional and personal future. So I think that people should feel happy and satisfied with what they do. Evelyn, what do you think about?
Well, I totally agree with you, Nico. I think that finding a job is a very important thing. And also, I think that we have to find a job that help us to develop our skills and that fit with our characteristics. Do you have something to add, Belen?
Yes, I think that all of all of the, the factors that we mentioned before are important, but there are also some others, like for example, starting a family. I mean, having a baby or getting a pet is a really important decision that we have to make, because um, we will have our lives with this person, or maybe this pet the rest of our lives. And also because it is a really big responsibility. Finally, I guess that fulfilling our dreams is a really big decision, because we have to work on our dreams. And yeah, I guess that happiness is the most important thing to have a successful life. What do you think, Nicole?
Yes, I believe that all the decisions discussed before are important in our lives. Yeah, like choosing a university, getting married, and finding a job. So I think people should analyze, yeah, and organize their ideas when making decisions.
Thank you so much. That is the end of the test.